G'day guys, what's cracking today? I have for you the Photo Pro Pantour. It's a beautiful travel tripod. It's a carbon fiber, 4-piece, comes in this beautiful bag. Have a look at this. Has some side pockets. They're pretty shallow, but good for putting spare feet in or a hex key, should that be your need. There's one on either side. There's also a little pocket inside the bag, should you want to put anything else. It's a slightly bigger pocket than the ones on the outside. Strap extends to here, so you can quite comfortably put it around your shoulder. I love the colors. Has this mustard yellow against the black with some beautiful design, and we can pull it out, and here it is. The great thing about these pure carbon fiber trapezoidal tubes is they're 32% stronger with pressure resistance and 33% stronger for torsional resistance, and also takes up 33.3% less space compared to ordinary round tube tripods. You lever arch these, it extends the legs. We can lock it in, and that's not moving. There's not a lot of bend in there, so because of the design, it's not circular, it's square with a couple of angles knocked off. Gives it some real robustness when it comes to stability. The feet you pop off, so these are rubber, and you pull it off, which takes a little bit of doing when it's brand new, and you have on the other side a spike. Now, if you're thinking, what if I lose one of the feet? It comes with 3 spare rubber feet, and the spike is built in. You simply pop that over the top and it locks in, but you want to make sure you put it on the right way around. Yeah, so the angle faces into the middle of the tripod, just like so. I really like the look of this tripod. It just looks really nice. I'm going to tell you a few things. These have a spring activated around it. So watch this, it just springs up. And so you have this string, and then it feels like it locks in. So they're not going to dislodge easily and bounce around. Let's have a look at the top half of this. So we have some mounting points here and here, and then a screw on here. This screw locks the center column. So the center column extends out and we lock it in. It extends out to the length of the hook. Here's the cool thing about the hook. The hook can actually pull out as it's tightened and has 4 different orientations. So if you want to put your bag or a weight on here, you can angle this 4 different ways without having to unscrew it and muck about. So it's built in that you can pull and turn, right? That's pretty cool. And then when you want to undo it, you simply grip this rubber ring in here and you're able to untie it. You untie it to release the center column, but there's another trick to the center column. Look at that, it's a little key. You're like, whoa, a little key. And once you dislodge that little key by pushing the side here, so you push here and it pops it out here, and that key, hex key, has a larger and a smaller. The larger allows you to take this off to shorten the tripod entirely or tighten up the legs, and the smaller enables you to tighten up the brackets. Comes with 2 spare hex keys, but I find one built into the neck of the tripod. That's a winner. I'll show you how this affects the height in just a minute. Now, as you can see, it actually extends really, really quickly. No stress with that at all. And you can mid-extend it, of course, so you don't have to go the full length. You also have this rubber grip at the top, which enables you just to carry it in comfort. Feels really nice and is embossed with the Photo Pro logo. So this is the full height of the tripod. Let's have a close look at this ball head. Now, there's some controls that come in really handy. This one enables us to move the tripod ball head around like so we can get the orientation that we like. We can tighten that off just simply by tightening that. This bigger one allows us to loosen the ball head. So if I spin this round by loosening that, spin it round, you can have a look at that ball head, and it comes down vertical. It's obviously got the one cutaway here and has a nice finish and can be like this. Now, once you set it up, once you say I want it just there and you want to do some pano work, that's where this little knob comes in handy, because this can be loosened and you can just turn this top. So my fingers are on the ball head's not moving, but the top is, so you can do some pano work, right? Get it exactly where you want, and this screw can be pulled out and repositioned wherever you would find helpful by simply pulling out and, you know, turning it. So you just put that wherever you think is helpful. The plate has this beautiful wide knob here that we simply easily disconnect, and you pull off your plate like that. It has this configuration, so you can put your small hex lock in there and tighten it up, or you can use a bar, or you can use the little handle, you can flick that out. And on the other side it has a 1/4-20, has a nice little rubber protector, and it has the 2 stops so that your base plate's not going to go wandering anywhere, and it fits in that gap nice and neat. You can just make it really flush. Then you have that little level right there to make sure it's exactly straight, and you also have a level on this part of the knob should you want to use that to get it straight if you want to drop down to a portrait or vertical mode. When the tripod's down like this, you do have a little bit of a limitation, you see. So you have all that, but you might find a little bit of a limitation from time to time as you're trying to spin around and go, oh, it doesn't quite work. If I move this to between the legs, yeah, it'll scrape still on the legs. So just be careful of that when you're putting this in exactly the right position. You want that you're not scuffing and wrecking your nice carbon fiber because you didn't factor in the limitations of that vertical shooting position. Now I'm going to show you what it's like at minimum height. If this is maximum height, we simply push this out and we start to unscrew this little bolt just here, and we do that with the little hex key that it's given us. And as we do that, you will see one part comes away from the other. So you see this is gradually coming apart, and you need the screw the whole way. It gets a little bit fiddly as the bolt gets loose, but once it comes off, the bolt has a washer, so it's not going to move. Okay, so you're not going to lose that. And then you can use this on the tripod to lower it right down. We do that by pulling out the center column, which will come out this way, nice and easy. Has some really beautiful rubber protection here. It feels really nice and tight, like there's no sort of flex or movement in that, especially when it's tightened up. So I really like that. There's also a level head right on the top of the tripod itself. So now what we do is we put just the ball head with its configuration in. We can tighten it off. We can actually remove this, and there's a T-plate on it that has a 3/8 of an inch screw. So that's what's actually on top of the center column. So you can have a center column with a T-plate on and a 3/8 if you want to attach another ball head or something else to it. Now this is where we duck the legs in. We're going to zip these legs up. So we simply open these all the way up, push it in, one hand, clasp it like this, and then what we want to do is we can pull this out. And we pull it out, there's no spring attached, so it just hangs out there, and then I can just put it up to wherever I want, and it drops in because of gravity, and it's stuck there at that angle. So this is the angle we're talking about when it comes to shooting as low to the ground as possible. So we're looking at, I mean, what's that? It's like nothing at all. So it gives you amazing ability to do this. Also has some numbers around here. So if you want to get that exact shot and you want to reference it where it is based on the tripod, you can actually use these numbers to do that. What do you think? Do you like it? Here's the price. PhotoPro have reached out. They said, can you review this and see what you think? I'm like, I can and I will, and I really like it. It feels really, really nice. I like the bag it comes in, but also like the fact that you can, well, you don't have to have the bag, right? You can actually transport this around. You carry it like so, or put it on the side of your bag. It's actually a pretty small get up. Total weight is this, and total height when it's folded is this, unless of course you buckle this down, which you can quite easily do, and tuck it out of the way. It takes all Arca Swiss mounts on top, so you're not going to have that sort of stress. And I would love to know what you think of it. There's links down in the description below, hopefully even like a savings code down there. Any questions I can help out with, let me know. I appreciate you watching. Subscribe, like, get on board with the channel. You can even become a deeper part of the channel if you like. You can do that just down below. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Of an inch screw. Oopsie daisy.